The soft glow of the evening sun filtered through the curtains, casting long shadows across the worn floorboards of the old farmhouse. John sat at the kitchen table, his weathered hands cradling a steaming mug of coffee. He gazed out the window, lost in thought, as the familiar creaks and groans of the house settled around him. For as long as he could remember, this had been his home. Every nook and cranny held a memory, every scratch on the furniture told a story. But lately, those stories had begun to blur, much like the fading photographs that lined the walls. John's parents, once vibrant and full of life, had slowly succumbed to the ravages of time. His father's booming laugh had been reduced to a wheezing chuckle, while his mother's sharp wit had dulled to confused mumblings. Caring for them had become John's life's work, a labor of love that consumed his days and nights. He sighed, running a hand through his graying hair. The weight of responsibility pressed down on him, a constant companion in the quiet moments between tasks. But he wouldn't have it any other way. These were his parents, after all. The people who had raised him, loved him, shaped him into the man he was today, or so he thought. The memory of that fateful evening still sent a chill down John's spine. He had been helping his mother into bed, her frail body barely making a dent in the mattress. As he tucked the blankets around her, she had grabbed his hand with surprising strength, her eyes suddenly clear and focused. "You're not our son," she had whispered, her voice trembling. "We found you." John had frozen, his heart pounding in his chest. He tried to laugh it off, to chalk it up to his mother's increasing bouts of confusion, but something in her eyes, a flicker of lucidity amidst the fog, had planted a seed of doubt in his mind. That night, as he lay awake in bed, John's thoughts raced. Could it be true, or was it just the ramblings of a mind slipping away? He tossed and turned, unable to shake the feeling that his world had shifted beneath his feet. Days passed, and life continued as normal. John went about his routine, caring for his parents, tending to the farm, but the words echoed in the back of his mind, a constant whisper that refused to be silenced. It was a week later when John stumbled upon the truth. He had been cleaning out the attic, sorting through boxes of old memories, when a faded photograph caught his eye. It was a picture of his parents, much younger, standing in front of the farmhouse. As he lifted it from the box, something fluttered to the floor. A letter, yellowed with age, its edges crinkled and worn. With trembling hands, John unfolded the paper. The handwriting was unmistakably his mother's, the ink faded but still legible. As he read, the world around him seemed to fade away, leaving only the words on the page. "My dearest boy," it began, "if you're reading this, then the time has come for you to know the truth. You are not our biological son. We found you, a tiny bundle left on our doorstep one stormy night. Double quotes. The letter went on, detailing how they had taken him in, raised him as their own, loved him with all their hearts. But they had never told him the truth, fearing it would change everything. John sank to the floor, the letter clutched to his chest, heart racing. Tears streamed down his face as the weight of his situation hit him hard. His entire life, everything he thought he knew about himself, was built on a lie. But as the initial shock began to fade, something else took its place. There's this amazing warmth, right? It's like this deep gratitude bubbling up inside for those two people who decided to love him and really make him part of their lives. It's just beautiful. They may not have given him life, but they had given him everything else. With newfound determination, John stood up. He carefully folded the letter and tucked it into his pocket. Then, wiping the tears from his eyes, he made his way downstairs to where his parents, for they would always be his parents, were waiting. As he entered the living room, he saw them sitting in their usual spots, his father, dozing in his armchair, and his mother, her gnarled hands working on a piece of knitting she would never finish. They looked up as he approached, their eyes clouded with confusion but still filled with love. John knelt between them, taking their hands in his. "Mom, Dad," he said softly, his voice thick with emotion, "I know the truth now, and I want you to know. It doesn't change anything. You are my parents, in every way that matters." His mother's eyes filled with tears, a flicker of recognition passing across her face. His father squeezed his hand, a ghost of a smile tugging at his lips. In that moment, John realized that family wasn't about blood or biology. It was about love, sacrifice, and the choices we make. His parents had chosen him, had given him a life filled with love and warmth. And he chose them right back, every single day. As the sun set outside, casting a golden glow over the room, John sat with his parents, sharing stories and memories. The weight of the secret had been lifted, replaced by a deeper understanding and appreciation for the two people who had shaped his life. In the weeks that followed, John's parents' health continued to decline. But there was a peace now, a sense of completion. They had shared their final truth with their son, and he had accepted it with open arms. One evening, as John sat between their beds, holding their hands, his mother stirred. Her eyes, clear for the first time in months, met his. "We love you, son," she whispered. His father echoed the sentiment, his voice weak but filled with emotion. John smiled through his tears. "I love you too," he replied. "Thank you for choosing me." As the last rays of sunlight faded from the room, John felt a sense of closure wash over him. His parents may not have given him life, but they had given him something far more precious, a lifetime of love, support, and belonging. In the end, that was all that mattered. Blood may make you related, but love makes you family. And John knew, without a doubt, that he had been blessed with the most incredible family anyone could ask for. He sat there, surrounded by the warmth of their love. John realized that sometimes the greatest truths are the ones we choose to believe in. And he chose to believe in the power of family, in the strength of love that transcends biology. The farmhouse creaked and settled around them, a familiar lullaby that had accompanied their lives for decades. And in that moment, John knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he would face them with the same courage and love that his parents had shown him throughout his life, for he was their son, in every way that truly mattered, and that truth, above all others, would guide him through the days to come. Some stories rewrite everything you thought you knew. If this one made you feel something, there are more waiting. Subscribe now to Real American Store and discover the truths most people never dare to speak.